Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is your Manchester United versus Leicester City match reaction. And first of all, we need to get something out of the way. A week ago, a Chelsea fan came on the show, and he said to me, "You can't call us crap. Look at the table. Look at the table. So what if Ollie has beat Lampard 3 times? Look at the table." Well, I tell you what, Mystic Mark is looking at that table, and buddy, we're above you. We're in third. I don't know if you know how to count, but 1, 2, 3, third, and you're in fourth, which means we're better than you, not just in terms of league position, but our coach and our team has actually beat you 3 times. Also, you can take that FA Cup and shove it so far up your backside. I don't know how you're gonna get it out. Shove it so far up your backside, you have to go to the emergency room. You can keep that FA Cup. In fact, it's a gift. Consider it a gift from us, the team that has the tied most FA Cups. And good luck in the final against Arsenal. But don't ever disrespect Mystic Mark when he's in the middle of making a prediction and telling you why it's going to be true. We beat Crystal Palace. We didn't beat West Ham. We didn't play well against West Ham. We didn't beat Southampton. We didn't play well against Southampton. But in football, you don't get rewarded for playing well. You get rewarded for the results. Draws and wins count in a league title. And in the grander scheme of things, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has lost less games than Frank Lampard. And that is why he is above him. Let that be a lesson to all opposition fans. Oh, a draw is not good enough. A draw is good enough sometimes. A draw is good enough sometimes. And all you men, I'm glad all you men weren't managing Manchester United, because all you men who would have taken Shaw off for a striker would have lost the game and bottled it. And we would have been sat here not in the Champions League, potentially, obviously. But, I just had to get that out there. Leave a like, do subscribe if you're new. And let's get straight into it. How are you guys feeling?
Jesse Lingard. Yes, it's a good day when that man scores. You just wrapped it up. Jesse was.
He scored the most important goal of our season.
Yeah, he scored the most important goal of United season. But
Listen, mate, some people say Johnny Evans still secretly plays for United.
No, he does. But, No, he definitely does. That was definitely Johnny Evans showing his red side. But honestly, emotions aside, we were quite horrible. Leicester were even more horrible. But I don't really care because we needed that result, and I would have taken a win any means necessary. And I'm just happy.
Dreadful performance, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Dreadful performance, but I'll take it. It was enough. Brett, how are you feeling?
Any day of the week, we are back among the elite.
Yeah. Your audio is sounding a bit choppy for me there. I don't know if it's just me.
I think it's the network, but
no, that's not a problem, mate.
Analyzing the game, I think we started really well, right?
Yeah. No. Go on.
Marcus?
I was saying no. It's okay.
Okay, sorry. I said I think we started very well, but for the first 5 minutes, we were very hyped. It looked like we were moving the ball with a lot of purpose, and it looked like we were there to win the game. But for some odd reason, we couldn't break them down to the middle, and the only way we were getting past the defense was through the wings, and it wasn't as fruitful as can be. And they proved me wrong. They did what I thought they wouldn't do, and what you guys said they would do. They sat back and countered us. And for a very long time, it was very productive, but it was an extremely cagey game. In the second half, we came back and we slowed the game down a bit. And it didn't bring a lot of opportunities for us, but what it helped with is that we weren't losing the ball recklessly like we were doing in the first half, which was frightening. So, besides the performance, which was very average, I'm just over the moon. We're in the top 4, we're in the Champions League.
In terms of a fair assessment of the game, I think I was thinking about this, and I was thinking of a way to word it while I was watching the game, because I knew this would happen. And even I've fallen for my own trap. You've got to separate your expectations from what you expect in a game, like your expectations from your assessment of the game. What do I mean by that? If you don't think much of Phil Jones and Phil Jones scores a hat-trick, you're going to think so much more of that hat-trick than you would have if it was a player you expected him to score that hat-trick. I know that's a dumb example, but bear with me. Like Lingard scoring today was such a good thing because he's so crap. Whereas if anyone else in the team scored, would have been like, yeah, but it's expected, And I think it's the same with United's performance. We've been playing so well since the beginning of lockdown that I think we overreact when our team doesn't meet those standards. I'm not saying we weren't bad today, but if we were bad and as atrocious as people are saying, imagine how bad Leicester were then. And
Leicester.
they had some decent chances. Like, to give a fair assessment of the game, I think the biggest problem was Bruno's pass selection and just a lack of drive going forward. Brandon Williams wasn't overlapping enough. Wan-Bissaka wasn't overlapping enough. So Greenwood and Rashford had to do work. They were basically left for dead out on the right wings by themselves. And then Martial was also left for dead because we couldn't go through the middle. And I think there was a point in the game where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just said, listen, these guys have to win. So we can't go out there. And I know a lot of United fans were saying we need to go there and get the win. But I disagree. You can't be overlapping against a team like Leicester and leaving Maguire and Lindelof by themselves. Because then you sat there with egg on your face, 1-0 down in a game where all you needed to do was draw, right? And I think I'm very proud of the way we were able to keep our composure defensively. Offensively, It was terrible. But defensively, I think, look, Manchester United were good. We do what Manchester United does this season, and we just closed it out. And to all the people saying, this team is a mentality issue, this and that and the other, I've been saying this. We haven't lost a game since January in the league. How does a team that hasn't lost a game since January in the league, and that is third now, like there's no debate now, there's no more games, we're third, we finished in third. How does a team that finished in third have mentality issues? Like, we need to stop using this mentality thing as an excuse. It's not just mentality. Some of these players are just young and inexperienced and don't know what to do in situations like this. Some of these players don't know how to adapt their games at the right times and bring out certain qualities at different times. Some of these players, Bruno, for example, are just natural risk takers, and they're always going to play the naive ball down the middle, even when it's not going off, because that's how Bruno was at Sporting. So I think this team has a long, long way to go, not just as a team, but individually. Some of the players in this team need to improve drastically. I think Lindelof and maybe Matic in the second half were the only players who were the standout performers for me. Everyone else was just dead on average for me, anyways. But
performance-wise, everything was average, but it wasn't horrible. But I just feel like at the time of the season, it's all about the results. Like, I give a fuck off how we play if we win the game, honestly. And we did.
Yeah, definitely. So shall we get into the play ratings then?
Yeah.
Yes.
David De Gea out of 10.
Oh. I don't even know. He kept the clean sheet, but my goodness. Those two shaky moments. The one where he stumbled that shot and Vardy nearly put it in, and then Vardy's, I don't know what, flick on that you just left and it hit the crossbar. And I think he was a lucky man today. But 5. I give him a 5.
I don't think he had a bad game. I think the flick on was unpredictable. So, like, he hit the post. So I don't want to blame him too much for that. I think overall he had a decent game. He made, I think, one outstanding save. Okay, it wasn't that outstanding. It was straight at him, but then it was still a save he had to do. So I think he had a decent game. I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Aaron Wan-Bissaka out of 10.
Oh, I thought Wan-Bissaka played well today. I think going forward he could have been a little bit better, but I think defensively we started to see the Wan-Bissaka we're used to. And I think going forward he wasn't extremely horrible as well. So I thought he played pretty good and he kept the clean sheet. So he was part of the team that kept the clean sheet. So I'm gonna give him a 7.
I thought he was average. I think he had glimpses defensively, but in general I think he was quite flat. So I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Lindelof out of 10.
Probably our best defender today. I got no complaints with Lindelof, really. He did everything right, and he put up a solid performance. So 8 out of 10. 8.
First half, a little jittery. I think those counters, the pace of the counters were really hard for him and Maguire to deal with, but they dealt with. And I think second half, as you guys say, he did step it up, and the sharpness was there. So I'm gonna give him a 7.
Interesting, man. Interesting. Maguire out of 10. This should be an interesting one because he made a dodgy tackle in the middle.
Oh, that's hey, he got a yellow card within like the first few minutes, and I was like, oh, here we go. This is not the start I wanted. It was further on in the game, and like towards the end where everyone was just getting yellow cards. I understand it, but to do it at that early stage was a bit reckless for me, and I think he should know better than to do that. And I think again, he didn't get exploited as much, but I thought he was also a bit average. So I'm gonna give him a 6.
As soon as he got that first yellow card, I was worried. about getting about a red card potentially that ruined the day for us. Yeah.
I wasn't worried, I won't lie, because if anyone gets a yellow card in this team, it's Maguire and Lindelof. If Bailey had gotten the yellow card, I would have been like, oh no, it's over. It's done. He's getting sent off, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Again, on the counter pace, it did look a little weird in the first half. But in general, he was flat. But maybe that's because Ole asked him to just take care of this defensive game first today, because it's more important. So, 6.
I don't think it was any particular instructions. I just think Harry Maguire is struggling with form at the moment. But with regards to him getting a yellow card, I think what he did on the halfway line was very uncharacteristic of Harry Maguire and Lindelof. Like, they're both very similar defenders. I don't expect them to do reckless things. That's why I prefer them over guys like Bailey. Because even though they're not quick and they have weaknesses, I know that their positional awareness and their brains will always be in the right place, at least 90% of the time. And I think the only time Leicester looked really threatening on the counter, I don't know if you guys remember, it was in the first half when I think Vardy was running and he had 2 other Leicester players next to him, and it was them versus Lindelof. And then Vardy had that incident with De Gea. I think he kicked him in the head or something, or in the glove. I don't know if you remember that. But that was the only time that Leicester looked like they were going to score a goal for me, besides the free kick that hit the bar. And that goes back to my point of, I think Williams and Wan-Bissaka not overlapping as much was a good thing. Because if Leicester got away with a lucky goal off the counter, I don't know how this team would have reacted. I think we would have lost or drawn, to be honest, and ended 4th. Like, I'm so happy with our defensive performance. But yeah, you were going to say?
2 opportunities with Iheanacho where he should have made better decisions. But hey, that's their problem. But maybe I am being a bit harsh considering that. I think.
Yeah, but like I kind of expected that. Like, people gave Leicester way too much respect. Like, clearly Leicester missing most of their key players. Like, they just don't have the quality. Like, United fans weren't being arrogant when they said there's no way we should lose this game other than ourselves. Like, we genuinely, in terms of quality, man for man, on that field, Vardy was the only Leicester player I'm scared of.
Yeah, but
everyone else was crap.
Honestly, especially the first one. Like, there's 2 people you can to. He's had to do some dodgy goal, some dodgy shot to the keeper that didn't even have powers.
Yeah. That's the difference. That's the difference between Leicester City with 4 injuries and Manchester United with a fully fit team. Like, Hardy. I don't know what you want me to say. If there's a Leicester fan listening, Hardy, it's not arrogance, it's fact. Your team just isn't good enough without 4 of your key players. Like, Hardy. I'm not trying to bend, I'm being serious. Brandon Williams out of 10.
I thought Williams was good. I think going forward, he's got a lot of talent, and obviously he's still young. I think defensively he's hit and miss, and I don't think that left side really works for him because, again, I like the reason why I like Luke Shaw also is because he's just more naturally suited for that position. You know, he's a left footer, and Williams he looks very uncomfortable on the ball, and that's the only real concern. But he's still young, so who knows what the future holds for him. But I thought today he had a good performance as well. So 7.
Yeah.
I thought first half in particular, going forward, I thought he was really, really good. And it died a little in the second half, but he was still a threat, and obviously he was very energetic as always. Defensively, he can improve them. I think it was better before the lockdown. Now, after the lockdown, not going on. Defensively, he's a bit shaky. But he did a job. And I guess we're just picking out the nuances of their performances. But in general, the defensive line contained Leicester and was very good. And I'm going to give him a 7.
Well, I was talking to Shoni before the show off air, and I wasn't. In case you're wondering, Shoni, I wasn't actually bantering. I was being serious. I genuinely question my football knowledge of fullbacks because, am I like the only United fan on this planet who thinks Williams has been okay? Like, people are saying he's been bad, he's been dodgy, and I'm like, what? I love Williams. Give me some more of Williams. Put Williams there. We don't need Shaw to make top 4. Like, I know he's been dodgy in some aspects, but I treat young players differently to the likes of Luke Shaw. So for me, I don't know. I love Williams, and I think a 7 is definitely fair. But I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there.
I think we're putting him on the standards he was showing before the.
Yeah, but if you know anything about me, I don't like I kind of called this. It even happened with Wan-Bissaka when people were lubing up Wan-Bissaka, lining up to give him a bloody blowjob because it seemed like he couldn't make a mistake. Like, eventually, players are going to have bad games. It's happening to Bruno at the moment. So I'm not a reactionary fan who changes their opinion on a player based on their form. Like, you look at the attributes that made them get into good form as well as what the system around them was helping them do and whether or not it was getting the best out of them as a player and all the factors involved as much as you can. And you formulate your own opinion. And I think with Brandon Williams, he was playing well because he was sharing the role with Luke Shaw. Now it's a little bit more difficult because he's coming into a situation where, first of all, he hasn't gotten back to proper match fitness because he never really played that much. He's only playing in this game because Luke Shaw was injured. So if Luke Shaw was fit, Brandon Williams was never playing in this game. So you have to understand that since lockdown, he hasn't had a run of games to get himself into good form, and it's not his fault. So for a player who hasn't played in nearly 3 months, who is young, who barely knows anything about being a decent left back in the Premier League, he's been brilliant, fucking brilliant. And I think the same of Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Like, the energy levels peak, and I love it. When I watch Williams, I'm like, this guy gives a shit about the badge, bro. Like, he ain't like Mandem, like Rashford, strolling when you're supposed to be pressing, fam.
Wait till we get to
running.
Rashford.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, we'll get there. Matic out of 10.
Matic I thought today also, again, solid.
Dodgy first half, though. Dodgy. And I actually took a note of this just to prove a point. I know nobody in this call is going to watch the games over like Ricky, but in the 14th minute and in the 18th minute, Matic gave away the ball, and all he had to do was pass it in a straight line, and he gave away the ball. Just saying. Yeah. And like always with Matic, it never leads to a goal. This guy's the luckiest DM on the planet because the amount of times this guy should have cost us is actually crazy. Like he shouldn't be alive at the moment. But anyways, I'll let it slide. Because I know there's some people on the show who like him.
I don't like him. I saw Ndidi today, and I was like, that's United's DM. That's who it should be. Ndidi chowed that midfield one man. But yeah, Matic's performance, I thought defensively he was pretty good. Going forward, I thought it was a bit better. And I think overall, I didn't really have too many complaints about Matic. So 7.
The second half was better.
That's a G. Please put some respect on his name. But
hey, I didn't say he's not a G. I said he's dodgy and he gives away the ball. That's all I said.
First half, I didn't know what Matic was doing. Like, it seemed like he was struggling with Iheanacho and more so Iheanacho, and Vardy's agility at times, he couldn't keep up with him, maybe pace as well. And the amount of times he gave away the ball in the first half, he looked very jittery. I don't know what's going on. But it got better in the second half. And I don't know, I think us slowing us down the game did help him a little. So overall, an average performance. So I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah. That's fair enough. What did you think of Pogba out of 10?
I thought Pogba was our best midfielder today. I think today his passing, his awareness of the game around him was very good. I think his experience also showed a bit today. I actually wanted Pogba to go further up and play where Bruno was basically playing because it looked like Pogba could create more in this game than anyone else, any of our other midfielders. So I was very happy with Pogba. But again, it's not Pogba out of second gear. This is just like first, second gear, pull Pogba enough. I want him to step it up. And obviously, he has just come back after a long, big injury. So yeah, that just, hopefully now we've got Champions League football. He signs a new contract and he stays forever at United. But yeah, I have no complaints about Paul. 7 out of 10.
I think first half, yeah, he was hitting some other long passes that I have no idea how he did. But overall, I don't think he was amazing. I did have a problem, as I've had over the last few games, about how we move the ball. And the thing is, it starts with Pogba and Matic. And I don't know, I felt like a little bit off. So I'm going to give him a 6.5.
You know what I think it is with regards to moving the ball? Obviously, there's not one problem. Every attack is different. But you know what I personally think it is? We don't have a consistent system and a pattern of players running into certain places and exploiting certain areas. Like, you can see it sometimes. Even, how many times did you see Martial make a run and then someone passed the ball behind him instead of in front of him?
Yeah, like, Martial makes good runs.
Yeah, and then people pass the ball behind him because these players, and it happens to Rashford all the time as well, these players don't understand. Like, they don't gel. They don't gel properly. Like, they gelled for 19 games. Great. But at the moment, I think the biggest problem is our players' positioning off the ball. Like, when I watch Manchester United, right, they have 2 options. They either play a ball over the top or they play a sideways pass. Because if they play one through the middle, it's luck. It's luck. It really comes off, and when it does, it's offside, always. And it just seems like the work rate off the ball and the exploitation of spaces off the ball just isn't good enough in this team. And usually Martial's the king of doing that, but even him nowadays is struggling because he can't do it alone. Like, even Williams sometimes, he plays a sideways pass and then he just stands there and I'm like, Nota, Run into space,
Yeah,
dude.
it
Like you can't
annoys
just
me.
pass
It
the
really
ball and
annoys
stand.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
dude.
annoys me.
And I've seen it, and then I've seen the dodgy Cruyff turns from Wan-Bissaka, and I'm like, Ndota, play the ball and run into space. It's not rocket science. It's the same with the defense. When Harry's there, okay, but with the defense it's different because Harry can't like run into space now. He's a centre back. He has to stay, like, you know. So centre backs, Lindelof and Maguire off the hook. But it happens with everyone, bro. Like even Rashford sometimes, and Rashford will make a run, but then Martial doesn't see it, and Martial decides to pass to Pogba, but it doesn't quite come off the foot properly, and then Leicester gone the other way, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
very
a
frustrating.
combination. Yeah, it's a combination of not understanding the teammates and how to move off the ball, and also what we spoke about. Like some of the players in this team just don't know how to trap a football in it. Like that's just the
I
sad truth.
guess
Some
it's
players
something,
just struggle trapping the ball.
it's a technical thing that they need to work on. I mean, we've heard
Yeah.
a lot about Pep. How his teams are so good, more so because how they move off the ball than what they do on the ball. So,
Yes,
like,
yes.
you could clearly
Like,
see it. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, you're 100% right. Like the amount of times a United attack breaks down because someone's pass was dodgy or the trap was dodgy, and I'm like, oh, you had one job, just trap the ball and move it on, and it's so frustrating. You know, like with Man City, the work they do off the ball, it doesn't matter because whenever they make an error, it's like, cool, we'll get another chance in the next 5 minutes. Cool,
Yeah.
we'll get another chance. Cool, we'll get another chance, and eventually they'll get it right. But with United, when things aren't going well and people aren't doing their bit off the ball, it's lackluster. But
Yeah.
you know, that's down to coaching, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think of Bruno? Weird
Oh,
game today.
I
Some people
thought
might say
Bruno.
terrible.
Yeah, I thought Bruno was terrible today. But if you said we were going to get the penalty, there is no one else on this freaking team that I would rather have to take it than that man, Bruno Fernandes. And, you know, no, he does what he does. He gets at the end of the day, he calls Manchester, you know, Bruno's a penalty merchant. You know what? He puts it away at the end, and he just doesn't miss. And, you know, yeah.
Can I just address that for a bit? Like, if any opposition fans are listening, how do you get penalties? Because y'all seem to think we get penalties by getting fouled.
It was
in
a
the half
legit
line.
penalty as well, by the way.
Yeah, that was a legit penalty. But I'm just saying. Answer this question for me, you know, silently. Or in the comment section if you're brave enough. How do you get a penalty in football? Do you not get a penalty by being in the opposition's box? So if we've won the most penalties, does it not mean we are one of the most threatening and potent teams in the opposition box? Like, anyways.
And it
And
just
also,
shows how good Martial is. Because Martial always finds a way to win something like that. There's always enough trickery, position, the running.
We'll get to him, but sometimes I think he's too fucking cool. Like, he needs to work on that.
I love
Like, he needs to work on being on a bloodhound sometimes. Like, he needs to work on that aspect of being a striker. If he wants to be one of the world's best number nines, he needs to stop taking 16 touches like he's setting up a finesse shot. Like you can't always score the finesse goal, Martial. Just hit it even if you're off balance. And it might go in sometimes. But, you know, again, I digress because he won the penalty, at least.
and we were always a top when it comes to penalties. But I feel like it's because even under Mourinho, when we do play attacking football, it's very, very direct. So when you put defenders under pressure, they're gonna concede penalties. So
That's what United do, dude. They pass around the box for 6 hours, and then in the 6th hour, in the first minute, they run into the box, and the defender's just like, damn it. Wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, but I'd give Bruno a 6 today. If he didn't score the penalty and like let's just say we won 1-0 because of that Lingard opportunity, he was gonna get like a 3, but he scored the penalty, and which was very crucial. So 6.
Giving a 6 for scoring a penalty. Yeah, man.
I was thinking, he's a good penalty taker, but he's bound to miss one eventually. So I could barely watch. But he scored, and I don't know. I think it was slightly better today. I think it wasn't amazing, but I feel like the intricate passes were getting through better than the last 2 games. So,
well, it's what are you giving him?
Decent game. I'm gonna give him a 7.
I was telling Shani before the game, when Shani was saying that Bruno should be subbed off, I was like, I disagree. Because without Bruno Fernandes, this team is nothing. We're back to where we were before December. I understand that Bruno's decision-making... Bruno's not perfect. He's not perfect. If your point about Bruno Fernandes is his passing was dodgy today and he made some dodgy decisions, I agree. But we need someone in the team to freaking kick the ball forward. Like, it's so frustrating watching United ever since Van Gaal came here. Because we always make sideways passes. It's nice to have someone on the field who's just like, you know what, yeah, I'm just going to kick it forward and see what happens. Like, it's nice to have that kind of energy in the team. Because I tell you what, If anyone else plays in that 10 role, we're sat here doing 16 million curve turns and waiting for the perfect pass. And I think I said this from day one about Bruno Fernandes. I think he's going to have games where things just don't come off. But you have to be patient with a player like this because all he needs is one pass, one shot, one goal, and it's done. Like I am 100% Bruno FC, not because he's one of my favorite players, but because I think he's so essential to Manchester United's success. Like the amount of sideways passes between Pogba and Matic made me want to vomit today. And when Bruno's on the ball, I'm like, at least I know this guy's going to play it up the field. At least, like, I wouldn't be bored for the next minute while he's on the ball. At least he's going to try and make something happen instead of just passing it back to Maguire. That's no disrespect to Pogba, but Pogba didn't have the best game today.
The fact that he keeps up his numbers while being in bad form is impressive.
Yeah, but he's a stat padder, so, you know. It's one of them things, man. It's one of them things. What are you giving Rashford out of 10?
0.
I think he was actually better than Greenwood, to be honest. He played a ball over the top for Martial.
I thought Rashford was absolutely ass today. Nah. Yeah, I'm not having with Rashford today.
Did you not see the ball he played over the top for Martial in the first half? In the 10th minute.
But like, that was 0. No, I'm not having it.
I'm going to be surprised if you give Greenwood. I want to hear what Greenwood did right. What did Greenwood do that Rashford did?
You won the tackle up the field to.
Okay, what about Rashford's ball? What about Rashford's ball? Does that not get a point at all?
Okay, he gets
Is
one.
Greenwood a defender? Is Greenwood a defender? Is his job to win tackles? I want to hear what this guy's going to give Greenwood. I want to hear it. What are you giving Rashford? So you give Rashford 0. What are you giving Rashford?
Look, that ball was freaking amazing. And I did a similar one against West Ham, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, he was non-existent. He did absolutely nothing besides that. So I'm going to give him a 2.
Yeah, I want to hear what you're going to give Greenwood. Martial out of 10.
My man of the match, 8. I think he was... I think people, if you slate Martial for today's game, I don't think you understand how important Martial was. I think Martial going forward was one of our only hopes. I think he did everything. All those runs he made, all those passes, he was on the end of. He always looked like he was going to do something. And I thought if there was a goal somewhere, even in the first half, I'm like, it's going to be Martial because he looked like the most lively. And again, I think I really do love Martial and I have complete faith in him. And I think over the recent few weeks, he's been our best player. So yeah, Martial, my man of the match, 8 out of 10.
But yeah, actually, I wasn't going to give it to him, but as Tini is saying, I realized that he probably was our best player. I think the runs were really, really good, even though none of them came to a goal. And he was drifting off to the left a lot and being very threatening. And he won the penalty. So I thought he had a good game. I'm going to give him an 8 as well.
Yeah, I want to hear this. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat for this. What warranted Greenwood getting a higher score than Rashford today? First of all, because I know you're going to give him a higher score than Rashford because you live up his bum. But then also, what did Greenwood do right going offensively that Rashford didn't do?
His passing was good. His passing, he didn't make many mistakes in passing. Rashford gave away the ball so cheaply. Rashford didn't look up for it. Greenwood looked up for it. I think Mason was also more stronger defensively. I think Greenwood, again, going forward, looked more lively than Marcus Rashford.
Okay, but what did he do? Can you give me an example in the game?
That slide tackle. That tackle created the first goal.
Offensively, can you give me an example offensively?
It was offensive. It was up on the field. It was in the final.
No, I mean, what did Greenwood... Okay, can you please... Let me finish my question. What did Greenwood do with the ball at his feet, not on an opposition player, with the ball at his feet? That is better than the pass that Rashford played. Please, enlighten me.
He didn't put in such a great ball, but he was on the right wing, and when he did get it, he did what he does, the step overs and played across the field, and just no one was there.
Oh, step overs. That's more impressive than a diagonal ball over the top. I get it now.
I agree. I think that one ball was amazing, but it was just one ball. I think Greenwood was quite threatening.
He did one step over. He did one step over, and you guys are lubing him up like he's the best thing since sliced cheese.
He got on the ball a couple of times. I think against West Ham he was non-existent, but I think he got on the ball a couple of times and was way more threatening. I think Rashford did nothing with the ball at his feet, to be honest. And defensively,
nothing. Were you watching the game? Nothing. So you're telling me Rashford did one thing today, and that was play a ball over the top. You're telling me if I bring up Rashford's stats right now, all it's going to say is he played one long ball out of one.
Oh, and he missed the sitter. He missed the sitter where Pogba
Oh, no,
crossed it.
okay. So if I pull up Rashford stats now, if I go to Statman
No,
David's Twitter page, it's going to say
obviously,
Rashford missed one
obviously,
shot and played one diagonal ball.
Listen. Obviously, he had to pull his feet a couple of times, but I'm being figurative about it. Figuratively, he did nothing in that game. I think defensively.
Oh, and Greenwood was amazing with the ball because he actually got past defenders, unlike Rashford.
Let me finish. He was good offensively, but I think defensively, he had a really good game. And I think it's his best defensive performance. That's why I'm giving him a 7.
That's fair, but what did he do offensively that Rashford didn't do? Did his step overs get past people, or were they just step overs? Did he actually get past multiple players? Because Rashford did also get past a Leicester defender. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but he actually did in the game. And I can pull up the stats for you.
I can't recall exactly, so maybe I'm wrong, but when I think back to the game, I remember him being way more threatening on the ball than Rashford was.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What are you giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of 10?
Oh goodness, he got the job. Why? Yeah, I'm giving him a 10. He got the job. He did it. But I'm also gonna give Lingard a 10. He's not my man of the match, but Lingard, I appreciate you, my boy. Well done.
He scored the winning goal.
He's got the winning goal. Why not, Jesse? Have a 10, boy.
That's the most important goal of Manchester United in probably in the last 7 years, bar the Europa League final under Jose.
I don't know. But hey, we had to have a Lingard moment. It had to happen.
Yeah, it had to, and I felt it. I knew like something would happen.
Jeez, my life. Some other celebration, like the game was almost over. But hey, he scored. Let me not be sour. Ole, 10. Like, I'm so happy for him. Like, the criticism he was getting around December, and he's completely turned around. We finished third.
He's still getting criticism.
We're the third best team in England. That's what it is. We're in the Champions League, so they must put some respect on Ole's name. I'm very happy for him. 10.
No, dude, according to Rents, Ole's a PE teacher, got lucky and played park the bus football against Man City in the top 6 sides. According to Rents, he's not that good of a manager, and the other 17 teams in the Premier League are just that crap. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the luckiest manager in history. Sorry?
PE teacher finishes third in the Premier League.
Yeah, dude, like this guy's gonna win a title and people are still gonna be there. No, he got lucky. If he had this many points in another season, he wouldn't have won the title. Like, I feel sorry for Oli if he wins a trophy because people are gonna be like, yeah, but he had an easy route to the final. They're gonna find something. Because I saw on Twitter today rants going in on Oli, and I was like, what are you talking about? You know, he said something about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being tactically inept. I'm sorry. Beating one of the best managers in the world makes you tactically inept 3 times.
I guess it's just those people who don't want to be proven wrong. People have written him off. I think he was voted as...
he's just fucking... Some United fans are just fucking negative human beings, dog, who's stubborn. And I feel sorry for them. Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even if he lost today, he wasn't going to get sacked. So those people were going to be miserable for another 12 months.
I would have probably said, like, if United did lose today and we didn't get the result, I would probably still say that Poch is the guy. And for me, again, like Poch, I would love Poch, but Oli, he did the job. Poch was the goal for the season. Finished top 4. He finished third, and he brought in Bruno. The recruitment has been good, so give him a chance.
Can I also add that some of these people who are talking so badly of Oli said we were going to finish 6th this season. So not only did he prove them wrong by not finishing 6th, he did double.
Yeah.
Well, how good he
was.
Yeah,
like I'll say, like I'm not Oli's biggest fan. I am not Oli's biggest fan, but like he achieved the goals, even surpassed it by third. Yes, it wasn't the best performances this season. It wasn't the best points total, but he got the job done. You can only play what's in front of you. And fair enough, he got it done.
Yeah, are we going to now remove all of Liverpool's 20 of their first 48 major trophies because in those seasons they wouldn't have won if those teams played today? That's such a silly argument, and this is not the show for it. But really, there are some really negative people in this fan base and in other fan bases as well. But in United, there's some really toxic people who have the thickest skin. And it's not just with Oli, it's with everyone. Pogba, Luke Shaw, Rashford, every player. They can't wait for someone to have a bad day. There's some people who actually wanted United to lose today so we could get Poch. Unbelievable.
I feel even if we didn't win, it's out of questions. And I'd say there's the Europa League, so there's still that. But I don't think I'd be going, we need to get Poch in, because I feel like I've seen huge transformation at United. I've seen, maybe on the pitch, we've been iffy. the season, but
Yeah.
I can see the club moving forward, and I didn't see any of this under any of the other managers. So
Yeah,
I
but
think this is the
like
man.
for me, you know what it is for me? For me, it's not about whether or not you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the man or not the man. It's about, do you love Manchester United and do you want to see Manchester United win? If that's the case, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be the manager for a very long time compared to other managers. Like, if you think that Poch is the right guy, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're going to be a miserable United fan. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, you're genuinely, like, I'm trying to give you a piece of life advice. If you want Poch to get the job, you're going to be miserable because Poch is not getting the job. Even if we lost today, dude, like, Oli was not getting sacked. Like, if you get that into your head and you process it, do you not think it's wise to then just back the manager? It's like saying I'm going to be miserable unless I get a PS5, but you know your parents are broke, dog, and they're on the minimum wage. You're not getting it. Like, so why would you subject yourself to the depression and the anxiety, or and the hatred of what you already have based on what you want, even though you're not going to get it, and your feelings towards it are not going to change the outcome in any way, shape, or form. Like, it doesn't make sense, and that's why I say some of these people are negative human beings, because your opinion is your opinion, but when your opinion becomes corrosive and it becomes something that you stand by no matter what, even when the guy you hate finishes third in the Premier League, it for me it's mind blowing because I feel sorry. Like, I'm not even upset. I have empathy towards people like that. I genuinely feel sorry for people like Rents because they can't just sit and enjoy a United game with a smile on their face. They have to always be like, I hope this bum loses deep down inside so that we can get Poch. That's sad, bro. That's sad. It couldn't be me, to be honest. Couldn't be me.
This is a massive step forward, and I just can't wait to for Champions League nights. Pogba, Bruno taking on the best teams in Europe.
Even Greenwood will be able to play in there now.
Well,
Like I said, the getting Champions League football was so important. Now the chances of Pogba signing is bigger. Now Sancho, let's get that over the line. Quickly, I know this is not the show to do it, but Jack Grealish. His value will probably be double in price. But that man got that team promoted. One man. And that man kept them in now. Today, the final game of the season, 1-0 down. Jack Grealish pulls up something and keeps them in the league. And if there's one player United need to get, is Jack Grealish. I will not forgive United for not getting Jack Grealish. That is a player who, yes, he's English. People might not rate him, but Jack Grealish is going to be crucial to United, and I really hope we see him at Manchester United. I'll personally buy a United shirt with Jack Grealish at the back.
Yeah, and they went 1-0 down very late in the game, so he made things happen.
He's a leader. He's more depth in midfield. Grealish is needed.
But for me, the most important thing about tonight, besides getting Champions League football, it's not Sancho, it's not Grealish, it's not the bigger picture. It's all those haters and those dogs that were barking. And I'm not talking about Chelsea fans and Leicester fans, so put your willy back in your pants. I'm talking about United fans, all those people. And I said, guys, wait until the last game. Wait. We have not lost in the Premier League. Yeah, no, but we bottled it against Southampton. You think this team's going to be... Wait, calm down. Football is a game of 90 minutes. League is a game of 38. It's a season of 38 games. We were in third going into this game. We came out of this game in third. Does this team still have a mentality problem? Because if you think it does, you and I are done talking, bro. Like, you might as well just ignore me. Just mute me whenever I talk on the podcast, because I'm going to annoy the shit out of you, and you're going to annoy the shit out of me. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear the mentality thing, because people were saying, we bottled it against this team, we bottled against that team. The noise, it just got annoying for me. Like, that, for me, is the most important thing besides getting Champions League football.
Yeah. Every one of those players to the squad.
Yeah. Every one of those players is going to go home tonight and say,
they finally clutched it. They clutched it.
We did it. We proved every single one. All the United fans were negative on Twitter. It's going to be a draw. You guys are stupid. You're naive. Oh, tell us how it's going to be a draw now. 2-0 with the clean sheet against Leicester City. On the last day of the season, you man said we couldn't do it. You man said the pressure would be too much. We didn't even lose against Southampton and West Ham, by the way. We didn't even lose. We did what we had to do to get ourselves in this situation. But people acted like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer fucking played a back five and lost 3-0, blood. Like, it's ridiculous. And there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. but you should always look to better that opinion and compare it and always be open to change. Don't be one of those people that's stuck in your opinion out of pride and becomes negative and corrosive. You've been proven wrong. Shut up, sit down, and back the team. What do you want? What more do you want now? Do you want us to win the treble next season before you see if we still have mentality issues? Like, it's done. I don't want to hear it anymore. If we lose, it's because those players aren't good enough. It's not because they have some deep mental block in the back of their subconscious mind because for the last 7 years they just couldn't. No, I don't want to hear it. I hope I've made myself clear. And I hope those players have proven and turned a lot of people's thoughts around, honestly. Like every single one of them, especially Brandon Williams, by the way, because he would have been one of the youngest in that squad, or the youngest in that starting 11. And he did it. He did what he needed to do. You know, imagine if you're Brandon Williams going home tonight. Imagine what you'd.
Well, I seen Greenwood put out a tweet, and he's freaking gassed. And that, you know, do you think that my boy is going to play Champions League football next season? Oh my God!
Like I tell you what, everyone who said we wouldn't make top 4, you can sit down and keep your negative energy to yourself. Shove it up your backside, just like Chelsea's FA Cup. We don't need it. Positive vibes only. Check you in the next one.